glue crack derby.
God, if Sheffield United beat Liverpool, what are they going to do, the Liverpool fans?
That is is the low point. I always think. Do you know what I always think nowadays? I don't know whether I've just watched it for too many years. I always think, that's a Premier League years game. You know, like a game that's like integral to the season as a whole. And like the Jordan Pickford Van Dijk one, they'd give that a good minute and a half in Premier League years, and then they'd come back to it later on. So those are two big games. But is this a game that they would focus on as well, or not? What's the low point for Liverpool? Is it the Everton game last week, losing for the first time in 22 years at home, or is it losing to Sheffield United?
Well, that's the thing. The thing about that game is that they've won the Champions League, they've won the league title that they've wanted for 30 years, and then the next season, after getting everything they wanted, they've lost a really kind of what used to be like a gimme record. Like Everton at Anfield was just like, just if you're doing some sort of accumulator, you'd always put Liverpool to beat Everton at Anfield, and they've gone from being the very best team in the league and the best team in Europe to losing to their rivals that they would usually just spit on.
Everton fans have got to be buzzing with that. They've literally destroyed Liverpool. Everton have destroyed Liverpool in two games of football. Amazing.
Yeah, it's so hard. It's so hard from
Henderson and Van Dijk as well. Mad.
If they do lose to Sheffield United are clearly the worst team. We can't help them. The worst team in the league. Then how many more games can he lose? Like, how long does he stay for?
Are we playing the game? Should we play the game? Let us know in the chat. Let's play the game. How many have they lost in the trot now? How many games does Klopp have to lose his job? They might not 4 on the spin. They've lost 4 on the spin.
They've lost 4 on the spin in the league. I didn't even know that. No. Is that right? Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah. They've lost 4 on the spin in the league. How many more has he got to lose? Knowing that there's 13 games left this season for him. If he lost all 13, would you go, so it's all right here, let's try.
Right, so there's genuinely like substantial talk about Jose Mourinho losing his job.
Yeah.
And granted, he hasn't done what Klopp has done for Liverpool. And, when Lampard lost his job at Chelsea, it was a similar sort of run of form. So, and if you think about what Klopp did at Dortmund when he was bottom in the league, he had fantastic successes with Dortmund, turned them into a force again. And then by Christmas, he was bottom in the league, and he managed to get them back up again. But I think they fired him eventually. Is this, would Liverpool...
Is it happening again? Is it happening again? What? So some of the... we're getting some... Go on,
if he lost 7 on the bounce, no manager in the league should... Unless you're bottom of the league, 7 on the bounce is too much. If you lost the next 3, you've got to ask the question. If you're not asking the question as a Liverpool fan after 7 on the bounce, then you're a better man than I.
So patrons are saying Adam Lewis says 6. So was that 6? So 2 more. You're saying 2 more from now on.
No. Or is he saying 6 and that's 10? 10's mad. Like, no one's ever lost 10 on the bounce apart from Derby County and Chris Wilder's Sheffield United.
Rob Turner says it's a Champions League exit and 10. I think that sounds about right for me. 10. You can't lose 10 on the spin.
But do you not think that he'll be able to figure it out eventually? Like, Liverpool fans should just sort of say, all right, this is shit, and it may be a really poor defense at the league title, but give him refresh the squad, give him some money. Klopp doesn't. It isn't Liverpool that's making Klopp a bad manager at this stage. It's not. Klopp will, wherever he goes for the remainder of his career, will always achieve stuff. So if they just stick with him and ride out this bad performance or bad era or moment of in the doldrums, if they just ride out the doldrums, then they'll rebound without doubt. But football, and that's what's so glorious about it, is it destroys ambition and it destroys talent.
Glorious.
And that's
what's so glorious about it.
It is, because you could be one of the best managers undoubtedly in the world, and football will fuck you in the arse. And that's why we love it.
And what I would say, and I think I agree. I haven't clicked on the video with Gary Neville, but I've seen the title and it's saying they have to try something different. I've got to say, I do agree with that. The pattern of play that they're playing is walking into the games that they're playing and the strategy that is coming up against them. It's just not working the same. So they need, and Jota thinks on his way back, I think he's training now. They need to try a different way of playing football if they lose another one.
They need their players back. That's what they need. Gary Neville, why didn't you try something different when you were fucking embarrassing yourself at Valencia?
No,
shut up.
No. But the thing is though, isn't that the quote? Is that like it's the definition of insanity is doing the same thing again and again and expecting different results. Like surely it gets to a point if they lose 5 on the spin against teams that they should be beating. Brighton, Everton. I mean Everton less so. I think they're a good team, but a lot of these games, a Southampton team that is an absolute mess itself. Like, surely you have to tweak it. You have to.
I mean, what? Yeah, all right, fine. Or maybe he can just stick with what he's got, write the season off, rebound next year. Because if he does, and he wins the league, or he comes close to winning the league, everybody would be heralding the Liverpool board for giving him time.
Will Alan Smith says he could lose all 13 and he's still fine. So that would be 17 matches on the trot. Losing and he'd be fine. Maybe. I don't think that's. I mean, it's outrageous to lose 17 games and keep your job, but
that's too much. That's too much. That's too much loyalty. That's too much faith.
17.
Look, there's a line. But look, if I was a Liverpool fan right now, and I think the vast majority of Liverpool fans are sort of just Klopp in 100%. They're giving every excuse under the sun about injuries, about his poor mum passing away and not being able to be there. Like, I get it. Like those are legitimate issues, but there are also issues with inside that squad tactically as well. But just let him ride out. And Liverpool is the perfect club for him to ride out this bad storm because their fan base won't turn on him because they're appreciative of what he's done before. And that's why Liverpool, again, this is another example of why they probably are the best fan base in the league in terms of a competitive nature, where they just they defend their own, even when their own is a proper racist, horrible cunt.
It was come back to that.
All right, even when you're defending someone who's indefensible, they do that, and that's why as a competitive football club and a fan base, that they're always sort of hover around the very best.